Welcome back to Island Bushcraft, and welcome back to my Deserted Island Survival series. In today's episode, I'm going to reveal one of my favorite secrets for finding food in the wild. It's a simple technique, but it has helped me survive in places where food is incredibly hard to find. Do you enjoy survival and bushcraft adventures like this? I'd love to hear what you think. Leave a comment below and let me know what survival challenge you'd like to see next. Alright, let's get started. This morning, my new companion and I are heading down to the tidal flats. Hopefully, luck is on our side today. Let me explain why I always come here at this time. When the tide comes in, all kinds of sea creatures move into the shallow water to feed. But when the tide goes back out, some of them don't make it back to the open sea in time. They become trapped in the tide pools or hidden between the rocks. That's the perfect opportunity for me to find food without wasting too much energy. Out here, understanding the tides is just as important as having good survival skills. Now, let's see what today's low tide has left behind. Yes, what a catch. I just found a huge swimming crab. It was buried almost completely beneath the sand. If I hadn't been watching the ground carefully, I would have walked right past it without even noticing. Out here, finding food isn't just about luck. You have to pay attention to the smallest signs. A slight movement in the sand, a tiny hole, or even a faint trail can reveal exactly where something is hiding. This is going to make an excellent meal. Let's see what else we can find before the tide comes back in. Let me share one of my favorite survival tips with you. When the tide goes out, rocky shorelines become one of the best places to look for food. The easiest things to collect are usually shellfish like snails and clams because they stay attached to the rocks or hide in the shallow pools. Crabs are a little different. They usually squeeze into narrow rock crevices or bury themselves under the sand to avoid predators. If you look closely and notice a crack or small hole that looks darker than the surrounding rocks, or you spot fresh sand that's been disturbed, there's a good chance something is hiding inside. Of course, it doesn't work every time, but learning to read these little signs can make a huge difference when you're trying to find food in the wild. After collecting plenty of food, it's finally time for us to head back to our little floating home and get some rest. What do you think of my new companion? I think he's been doing an amazing job today. Having a friend by my side makes this survival journey feel a little less lonely. If you enjoyed today's adventure and want to support both of us, don't forget to subscribe to Island Bushcraft. Your support will help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. This is everything I managed to collect this morning: some big swimming crabs, rock snails, and fresh shellfish for a deserted island. I'd say that's a pretty good meal. I'm going to cook them on the stove I built myself. You might be wondering why I arranged all these rocks before lighting the fire. There's a very important reason. My floating shelter is built almost entirely from bamboo, which can burn if I'm not careful. The rocks act as a heat barrier, helping keep the fire contained and preventing the flames from spreading to the raft. Out here, staying warm and cooking food are important, but keeping your shelter from catching fire is just as important. One small mistake could cost me everything I've built. And now, it's finally time to enjoy the reward for all of today's hard work. This meal may not be enough to completely fill my stomach, but every bite gives me a little more energy. Out here, even a small meal can mean the difference between giving up and making it through another day. Thank you for joining us on today's adventure. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to Island Bushcraft and support the channel. I'll see you in the next episode, where another survival challenge is waiting.